Hey everybody, welcome to a conversation on our ethos as a church, who we are, who we aim to be, what we hope to be, where we're headed, all those things. We missed a week last week.
No, it's too bad.
We were eating turkey instead.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Thanksgiving. Did you eat turkey?
Greg's favorite protein.
Yeah, I ate turkey.
Did you eat turkey?
What? Fascinating.
Who? I was going to say, who are you trying to impress? But I don't know. Like, it was placed in front of you.
You made it?
We just did a turkey breast.
We did too this year.
It sucked. Turkey sucks always. I made a really good gravy. Really.
How did you make the turkey? I like to hear the methods. What did you do?
I'm proud of my gravy, not my turkey.
I know, but I feel like there's a lot of work that is done to make turkey better.
No.
And I just
do you think people do a lot of work to make turkey better?
I do.
I think a lot of people
It's
do a lot
not
of
better.
work.
Just a surprise.
People do a lot of work to make turkey.
I think it's
One
better.
year I did everything you could possibly do to make a good turkey, and it was still just turkey.
Okay, so what did you do that year?
Turkey is a commodity. There's no specialty turkey.
I did a different thing
it's
this
one
year.
step.
I bought a heritage bird, which was like
Okay.
5 times the price.
Yeah.
I smoked it for 12 hours.
Okay.
I caught all the drippings to make a smoked gravy.
Gross.
Like I did all these things.
This year or the
No,
one
this was
year?
like 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
And at the end of the day, it was not worth the work.
I can see that. Okay, so what did you do this year?
I got a turkey breast and baked it in the oven.
Okay.
And it was so much easier, and it was
the same.
I
So
do a dry brine.
I think, like, tofu takes on the flavor of whatever you brine or soak or do whatever,
Mhm.
and it's so you can't get turkey to do it.
No, turkey just bleh.
It's impenetrable.
No,
It's
I
all about
feel-
the gravy.
It is about the gravy.
Yeah, dump what you want it to taste like on top. You can't cook it in it.
Turkey is just a vessel for sauce.
That's true. I did a buttermilk turkey this year because that was one of the
They fed the turkey buttermilk all the time. It's the wagyu
They
of
put a
turkey.
tube down its throat.
We soaked.
The massage.
Turkey bucha.
Yes. All right. Turkey buchan. Yum.
Don't think about that one too much.
I will. That's plenty.
So you did
Like-
some dry brine that didn't do anything.
I didn't do a dry brine this year.
Oh,
I
wet
usually
brine.
do a dry brine, and I
Buttermilk.
do think it does something. But I did a buttermilk brine this year because that was one of the things I read. It was helpful. It was good.
The thing is, no matter what you do, you can increase how good a turkey is by 1%. So you could do 1,000 hours of work and it's 1% better. Or you could do no work and it's 1% worse, and it really doesn't matter.
I think no work is where I want to I won't eat that. The 1% better. I mean, I think it's more than 1% better, but I don't want a turkey that I've done nothing.
It's just the food. It's the food that the amount of effort it takes to make it better is disproportionately correlated with how much better it actually gets.
I do agree with that.
Like if you spend if you have a chuck roast, it's not a very good piece of meat. But if you do a lot of work to it,
Yeah.
you can make it into something
Yeah.
really good. Just a turkey's never gonna. No matter how much time you put into it, it's still gonna be a turkey.
I agree.
And
But
that's
I do
why we
like-
only eat it once a year. Because it's not good. If it was good, we would eat it all the time. That's my
Huge.
proof.
It's also a large bird. Like you have to do. I don't know. I think you're right. It's a
We're the
vessel
number
for
one
sauce.
state.
Berries.
We're the turkey steak.
It's
Yeah.
good. It's
Most
good on
turkeys-
sandwich.
I did enjoy. There was, how they do the turkey pardon with the
Yes.
Mhm.
in
Not
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
That made me chuckle. We do not pardon.
We do
each
not.
Here's
other.
our turkey. Okay, go be with your brothers and sisters on
And
someone's
on our
table.
plate. Yeah.
I'm sure you guys all wanted to hear
They did.
Uh,
They have opinions.
all about turkey.
I think. I mean,
10
so
minutes.
ready for the segue.
Yes.
Is that your scooter?
Do the Segway tours still happen? I haven't seen them in a while. I guess it's
Probably.
winter.
5%
It is
off
so
of
cold.
It is so cold today.
It would be so cold.
I think that Thanksgiving is a good picture of there's a degree of similarity in what people participate in or do, but also, everything is quite different. And I think our experiences can be so different every year too, by who can come or who doesn't come or whatever. And so as we talk about, we've been bringing our ethos, who we are as a church or community into our conversation is this topical series. And I think even talking about who we are, we have to also acknowledge that in our differences, we also have very different experiences at the same moment always, which is you can be in the same room and have such a radical different experience. We did a survey. We're going to do a survey on Sunday about the FOMO quiz. And the thing that, I mean, this is going to be interesting to talk about because I feel like I'm not going to say where I fall in it, but the same experience, the exact same experience externally can have such a radically different internal experience from person to person. What is going on in that? And to acknowledge its thing. So was there one of the settings, so there's social gatherings, work, professional gatherings, recreational or hobby moments, or family moments. Is there one of these categories that is unusually higher or lower than any of the others?
Hey, work and professional and recreational and hobbies are high. Social gathering and family are low.
I would never say any of mine are low, but some of them are mid versus high.
I didn't have any sevens. Did you have any
I
sevens?
had 7.
I didn't have any zeros either.
I had 2 5s.
I think some
And 1
could have been
0.
6s,
I had
but I just was
4
like,
4s.
I feel it
Yeah.
so much more than.
So the higher score, up to 7, was the most FOMO of it. My highest were in the work or professional setting, and my other 6 was in the vacation planning without me.
Mine, social and work for sure were very high.
No,
Although the one question it says, sit
don't
down
want to do
and
4 winery tours. No.
One of them- one of them says, sit down first in a cafeteria and no one joins you. And yeah, I did
love
give
it.
myself
Yes.
a 2 because I was like, that actually sounds fantastic. And I think
You
that
gave yourself a 0 in that, right?
I'm sure other people.
I gave it a 3.
My lowest score, which I think is the correct answer, is the being left out of a group chat.
Oh, yeah. I gave it
What
a
is the group chat one? I missed that one.
second.
Oh, yeah, I don't want to be left out of a group chat.
You don't want to be left out of a group chat.
No, I like a good group chat.
When I look at my phone and I have 40 text messages, I just want to throw it across the room.
Oh man, I like it.
As your phone buzzes on cue. I've in a group chat, I probably won't even, if it gets to be 30 or 40 messages like that, sometimes that happens and I don't look at any of them. Which is
I scan, but yeah, it's hard to catch up again.
I just open it and close it so the
Yes!
notification goes away.
I don't even open it. I just read.
Mark is red.
Mark is
Oh,
read.
I turned my markers red off because nobody needs to know.
Not read receipts. Just like email, you can just slide
Oh,
and mark
yeah.
as read and not open it.
you should turn on read receipts for us.
No,
I think everybody should have to have read receipts on.
As
So
in-
you know,
as you have to opt. You
everyone-
can't opt out of it.
Well, if I'm trying to tell you something,
Yeah.
and I'm like it happens with Kelsey sometimes, where I'll text her and it still says unread, so I'm like, okay, I have to call her to make sure.
It doesn't. It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's
tell you if you read it. If you read it on your watch.
If you open it, it
Oh.
does. But if you just read
Yes.
the
If
notification,
you just read the notification.
it's like in your lock screen. If you just read the notification, it doesn't go away.
Okay. There you
it's
go.
just
There you go,
as
Greg.
important conversation.
Greg, I did it. Look, I turned on read receipts for Greg.
And
Oh,
you
you
can
can
do
do
it
it
per
for
person.
one?
I just there's
Welcome.
it's just if I need to tell
I
somebody
understand
something,
that.
I need to know if it actually told
They
is
read
told.
it. I know, but I feel like if it says red, it
You're
doesn't-
perpetuating it.
I know, but I was like, and if it says red and there's been no response, that doesn't feel like,
I don't want a response.
oh,
Please don't.
I need to
That's
know.
why I like
Zero.
read receipts.
Zero.
I need.
You saw it, perfect. That's all I need to know.
I don't feel that at all.
I
The
don't
part of
like you're the queen of the
thumbs up.
thumbs up.
I know.
I'm like, this text message thread was a decade ago, and all of a sudden, Rachel thumbs up it. Stop!
I don't want to do the effort of saying anything, but I want you to know I saw it.
Read
receipt!
I don't. If it's in a group chat, it won't say specifically
does.
that I read it.
It says
Oh,
seen by 3.
alright. Seen by it does. You're right. All
So-
right.
The part of the ethos that we're looking at today is
Read receipts.
everybody has an important part. Everybody has a place to play, a part to play. Because we are children.
Well, heart is a good medicine.
But I do want to, in an environment where other people might say that you or somebody else has an important part to play, or somebody is as a valuable contributor or whatever it is, and they are that person who you see as being valuable is a non-participant. Why or how does that even happen? I mean, it's common in our
It
world.
happens a
So
lot,
when
I
somebody
think.
is just like take an easy one. As a parent, you have an important part to play in your child's life, and somebody decides to be a non-participant. Or at work, you have a job or a task, and you have an important part to play, and they choose to be a non-participant. What, like, is it? Maybe it's an infinite number of stories that are behind that, but why? How does that happen?
I think it's like there's a lot of things that happen. Like I think one thing is overwhelm in other areas of life. So
That's
or
going to be a
there's-
really common one, I think.
I think so. And then I think like for me, there's sometimes where there's just too many cooks in the kitchen. So it's like, okay, how many more voices do we need in this to make a decision? And then it gets a little like, okay, how do we, if I can accept the decisions other people make, then do I need to
Thumbs up it.
thumbs up it? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, maybe those are non-necessary. So maybe they're not valid.
I think that's interesting. I think one thing I appreciate about you, I feel like a lot of times people that have high FOMO or having fear of missing out or need to be included with a lot of things, it's because they want to be heard. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's you. I feel like that's not your reason behind that. I think you just like to be a good participant. And so there's not the why is Rachel's only doing this because she feels like nobody's listening to her. I never felt that way, but
that's good.
But I do feel that way about some.
I didn't mean it
sometimes.
like that, but I feel I'm glad.
I'm trying to say this is a compliment.
No, I appreciated that.
Yeah, I'm not sure I'm saying it.
No, I appreciate that because I think sometimes I'm a very like over the top person, and so I sometimes feel automatically like I'm going too far the other direction or being too loud or too something. Too much is my favorite feeling. So it's easy for me to think I just need to.
I guess what I'm saying is sometimes people like that, it's a selfish thing. And it's not, it's something else.
Yeah. There can be the visible can be the same if it's insecurity driven. I think,
and I just don't care.
Love that about you.
I think again to go back to that question one more time is like what is going on when somebody opts out of something that they should. Again, should is it comes with some baggage, but when there is something that could or should or probably needs to be a part of your life and you say, nah, I'm out.
I know. I keep thinking of like church because I mean, obviously we're in a church community. So I keep thinking of church settings, and there are definitely points where people do want to choose out of things that would be really good for them to participate in. And I don't know if it's too hard or if it's too vulnerable, too real, do they see that it's not, do they not think it's an important thing, even though maybe it would be an important thing, or is it just too much? I mean, it feels like there's so many things happening.
There's so many areas of health and life that non-participation is a commonplace, to physical fitness, to dietary things, to, very easy things to just pick out. And then I go back to like high school and like, I think like not doing your homework was clearly an option in high school. And then there's like in relationship or in work or whatever, when you just say, I just didn't feel like doing it today. Mm-hmm. It's like, that has serious impact, which is such a weird thing is that, and I'm sure I hear more high school students say that I haven't been challenged in years or it's really easy. I don't really have to do anything. I'm sure I think there's responsibility in taking ownership of challenging yourself as opposed to needing to be challenged. But high school definitely can have a moment where like, you know what, I didn't do stuff, or in college, undergrad, whatever. I didn't do anything and I passed the class just fine. If you bring that to relationship. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. I was thinking about like when you were talking about that, going back to Thanksgiving and like thinking of family getting together. And like sometimes it's usually like somebody that's like married into the family because you didn't grow up with each other or things like that. And
Yeah.
like it's really easy to like sit on your phone and kind of just be there instead of actually be involved in the conversations and participate and or help in the kitchen, all of those things. Like it's really easy to like check out and not see the value of like growing the family relationships. And it feels like such a missed opportunity. Like my niece, she calls my husband Uncle Mike, and obviously because he says her uncle, but I always think she doesn't know that he married in. Like she doesn't think of him as any different than me because like I'm her aunt, and my like to her we've both been around since she was born. So she's not thinking any difference about the family member that married in versus was born in. But it is about participation and how much you're willing to like invest in that relationship. And when you don't see the value in that, it does kind of hurt other people. Like my niece needs that,
It's kind of a 4-quadrant chart, but there are things that can be really overwhelming to people when a need is large. And a large need can be world peace, but it also can be so much more of a local, more of a personal thing. And so it can be you said, why do people often opt out of things? Is because they're busy or overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And so that can just be a given month thing. But in these quadrant things is that things that can feed into the disconnect, that there's credit is given without any effort. And that one, it's so funny that, there's some intentionality in having that be the first one, but that can be like, that's my favorite. I don't even actually think it is my favorite, but it can be a moment like, I like things working out and things being good and even being congratulated for it and not doing any effort. But that thinking about that happening over and over and over and over again, and it rewards you for doing nothing.
Yeah.
And eventually you really do nothing. And then the other diagonal from that is endless effort and just no perceivable impact. And so like the first one, that can be an AI moment, but the endless effort and who knows if it's doing anything, that's like parenting or relationship 101. It's like, is it doing anything? The other first one on the left is that you feel like it's all up to you. And again, there are things in life that definitely we do have personal, heavy responsibility, but that happening over and over and over again. I think I like the declaration, like, I'm all alone in this, and then somebody tries to help you. It's not just Minnesotan. It's maybe it's just a United States thing. I think it's everywhere. But when somebody says, "Hey, if you need anything, let me know," that phrase has never led to anything, I don't think. So no one's, I have to do this all by myself. I wish somebody would help me. What can I do? Nothing. I have to do this all by myself. It's kind of weird. The other end of it is to have where there's no effect. It just, everything is so big, and it's just like tidal waving on you. There's no amount of effort or scale or thing that could to fix the scale of all the things that are happening. And so, anyway, do you guys see, like, what is the one that you maybe walk into the most often? Or is most often maybe much of it, like, is there one that has resonated with you in the last season?
Do we have to talk about it? No, just kidding. I think I had a moment on Tuesday when I was like, I feel like it's all up to me. I know I had a moment. And it was like, it was funny because you guys were mostly talking about this. I was a little bit distracted with event planning things.
Because it was all up to you.
Because it felt a little all up to me. And then there was something else that came up, and I said that. And then Scott pointed at me, and I was like, I wasn't really even participating very well. And I just fit right in the box. Like, it's all my fault. It's all my responsibility. So it's very easy for me to fall in line with that.
I think for me, the like endless effort and who knows if it's doing anything can be a common one. I was thinking this morning, we're doing some building projects in the coffee world, and I was thinking to myself as I was doing some sanding this morning, do I really like building things? And I don't know. Like, because I think about all of the individual elements of building things, like I don't like painting. I don't like sanding. And so I was like going through, as I'm sanding this morning, I'm going, what do I enjoy about this? And I'm like, I just went through all the elements. I go, I don't really like any of these things. But I do like building things because part of it is you put some effort in and then you go, ta-da!
Or something tangible.
Done. And so I don't really know what that means. Maybe I just don't like building things.
I think that's huge because, I mean, I've said this before, but there was another pastor we were talking to, I mean, maybe a year or two ago even, and he made like a cart that, like out of a door and a handle. And not quite the same, but similar. That's exactly what he said. He's like, sometimes in this, like as a pastor, everything, you can't tell what good is coming out of any of this most of the time. So I need to do something tangible sometimes so I can feel like I did this and I was able to see the final results. But in parenting and church and life and relationship, like it's very difficult to see what good is coming out of the effort you're putting in.
Yeah, none of it is, I mean, almost anything worth doing in life isn't necessarily mean that it's enjoyable when you're doing it.
Yeah.
There's always those moments that are like, I don't know. I've been a broken record on Ruth lately, but it's like you finish building something and you look at it and it's almost like you had a bunch of those as it turned out moments. Like,
yeah.
I didn't like sanding, but as it turns out, sanding led to the creation of this cool thing. It's weird.
Yeah, well, I mean, bring that to the table, the narrative of Ruth 1 and 2 and beyond. But it is amazing how this Ruth played a part and God. Like, that's and so, I don't know, maybe, Greg, since you've thought so much about it, but like how does that come to our real, not that isn't real life, but how do we bring that to our real life where this showing up and God?
Yeah. I don't know. So much of Ruth gets focused on these other, like, everything that led up to Ruth and Naomi having nothing, which is valid. You should understand that before you understand this moment. But, like, it's so weird to me that you think of the Bible as, like, something that's supposed to be overtly professing who God is.
Mm-hmm.
And then this moment in Ruth's life that was life-changing for her, it doesn't say God did a miracle. It doesn't say any of these things. It just says, as it turned out, she was in the right place at the right time. It's so coincidental. And sometimes I think that's so more realistic to how I have experienced, not that God doesn't like have these miraculous moments or that's impossible, but like in my life, those as it turned out moments, those life-changing moments are often coming out of seasons or moments that I thought didn't mean anything. And so Ruth in this moment, she just needs food for her and Naomi. So she's done a bunch of right things in the midst of really hard moments, and she continues to do this right thing. And as it turns out, it was Boaz's field, and her needs were about to be met. God was at work. God had this plan, and then ultimately led to the genealogy of Christ. And so just this crazy moment of, hey, God's at work.
Yeah.
Do what you know is right to do. Do what you need to do. At bare minimum, do that. And God's there.
Yeah, the paralysis prayer, it's easy to point to somebody who's, it's like a 19-year-old's paralysis moment, but it's everybody. It's like, God, show me what I should do. And Ruth just is this perfect picture of, my mother-in-law has lost it. Yeah. She changed her name. I'm gonna go get some grain. And as it turned out, the two questions out of this is what helps you show up for needs in your world. So like, again, there's the fear of missing out, but then there's the zero moment, the intentionality of not showing up. Like, I think that these answers will be so different in everybody, but what helps you show up for the needs in your world is is the question. I think empathy is like seeing the need. I think that's empathy. Seeing, feeling, knowing, like walking around it.
Awareness.
Yeah. Big one for me.
Yeah, I think that's a hard question because I feel like in one way I'm really good at this and maybe a little too good at it. Like it's really easy for me to see a need and then fill it without
Goes to the rock up the hill again.
Yeah, like it's almost troubling. Like it's almost like I get myself in trouble too much because I see a need and I fill it, and then it's maybe that was for somebody else to do, or I don't know. I'm pretty quick to jump in, which isn't bad, but sometimes it can lead to not good, if that makes sense.
But to literally have this on the announcement card in front of us as we talk about that, it's such an important thing. If I say the reason I show up is because I see measured impact, boy, I'm going to miss a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of bad reasons to show up, which is interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think a good reason, I think a good reason to show up is relationship, though. Like somebody has a need and I care about that person. So like if I can help, I feel like that's a good reason to show up. But it just can it can be too much sometimes.
Yeah, I just mean there's just moments where people show up and it becomes about them. Also, people show up and meet a need in a way that it doesn't actually need to be met, or sometimes instantly showing up and meeting a need is communicating that the person in the midst of it is helpless. And sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not. And so there's so much complexity in that. I don't know. I think I just go back to the Ruth moment Ruth was meeting her own need and God was there. And it led to something.
But also had a love being lived out as commitment to her mother-in-law.
Yeah.
Which she had been released from that obligation. And she goes, yeah, I'm still with you.
It is hard because there's some, that is something, in my personal life, I feel like there are some non-obligations that I've picked up as obligations, but they do impact, my niece's life or kids' lives or things like that. And they're really hard. It'd be easy for me to go, this isn't my responsibility. But I also am I don't know, she needs that a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where I get a little twisty on when do you step in, when do you not,
Sure.
I get really, because some of those things feel so heavy. It almost feels like I have things that I do need to do, but I know I also need to do this. And maybe this other thing is more important than the other things I need to do. But it's just I don't know.
So that feeling, that reality points out to something that is so core to our ethos of who we are as a church, as a body of Christ, is that there was a Saturday morning cartoon thing that happened all the time, is that there would be I don't know why it came up in narrative often, is that there would be they were looking for volunteers to do something really hard, and they says, who's going to volunteer? And then everybody steps back except for the idiot. And then there's this looking around, who volunteered? Oh, it's me. And this is a healthy body of Christ is the person who takes responsibility, is not the sucker, is not the idiot. And so, but if everybody does step back and just leaves a couple people step forward, it's too much. It is too much. And things won't happen, and kids will be under-resourced, under-loved, under-cared for, community needs, all these things. And so as we look at our need as a community, and if we think, all right, how do we get this so that a few people can do all these things? It wasn't God's plan. God's plan was that we would all be a part of it. So what helps you show up for the needs in your world, as soon as that becomes more of a, what are the needs that I have? I think we're missing it. The moment we go, I need to see the needs of our whole community and see how I'm a part of it. And it's, I don't know, there's just it's all of our world and its push for efficiency is how can I parent with the least effort? How can I do my job with the least effort? How can I, and what can I completely opt out of? Man, that has impact. We're also going to ask, how does God show up for needs in your world? And again, Greg, you said it a couple times in this, is that Naomi didn't go, hallelujah, the Lord has placed me.
The Lord.
Like the intangible of God, as it happened. Wow. And I think it's the tree falling in the woods with no one hearing it. Like if God does something and you don't recognize it, God still did something.
Yeah.
And
I think we so much miss the as it so happened moments because we're looking for the big flashy miracle.
yeah.
And then we look back and go, oh, there was 800 as it happened moments. And it's like, oh, that became like it's just so.
Because the miracle would have been if Naomi went to, or Ruth went to go gather grain. Didn't go so well, but when she came home, there were just mysteriously big Tupperware full of grain.
She started taking the grain out of her basket, and it just never ended. Fed
Or by the
5,000.
time she gets home, she uncovers her basket and there's loaves of bread, and she's like,
Wow, yeah, we want that miracle,
not the little miracles.
and the miracle of I showed up and it worked.
I think like going back to that graph, the endless effort is probably where I identify, because I feel like all the time I'm like, well, it doesn't matter. I'm just gonna. But then like the Ruth Naomi story is such a good reminder that, hey, look backwards. Look at those other moments of life where you were doing the little thing, and all of a sudden, as it turned out, it turned into something else.
Yeah.
I just think that's encouraging to be like, well, if I know what to do next and I just do it, then the rest is out of my hands.
And we're going to end with the question, which is very uncomfortable, I think, for people. But to say, how do you see others being an important, healthy part of the body of Christ? I think that can be very encouraging and beautiful. And I think people can celebrate talking about that with people that they know or love or care about. But then to say, all right, well, how do you see yourself? And that we become so self-deflective. Well, I don't know. And I don't think people need to have a big head about I'm so important. But I also feel like if you self-deflect that I'm actually I'm not an important part, you're going to miss it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's not to inflate you, it's to give you have validity. And I just need to realize again that I can't do it all. I shouldn't do nothing. I apparently have an important part, and so I better show up in that.
Yeah, I think that if you're on that side where you're like, I don't have anything to offer, I'm not.
Yeah.
Then it's impossible to have any level of ownership.
Yep.
And so people need to see themselves as valuable and important for sure.
Any wrap ups?
I mean, that's
Actually,
the what's next step, the presence with people, seeing what's next. If we can all do that, and we all together, something gets built. And sometimes we don't even know what's happening until, oh, look at that. And that's so important. It's good.
all
We'll
right.
see you guys next week.